here we are. Mic is working. I see it there on the monitor. We're here. Hopefully this looks good. Let me make sure all my stuff is working. We're going to turn on this. We're going to turn on that. There we go. And live chat is going. Mic is on. Looks a little weird. You can see every pore in my body, but we're here. We're doing our thing. Oh, I guess I do got to mention. So new little bit of tech. I got a brand new phone here. Got a Samsung X6, an S16 Express. Hold on. Still got the box. Edge. I always forget it's Edge. But brand new phone. So hopefully this looks good. Hopefully it's all working okay. But yeah. Back for another live stream. I'm Justin the Zilla, as y'all know here. So, you know, back for another week. Back for another live stream. And this is post... Is this our first live stream post Comic-Con? Or was that... No, that was last week. It's been a week since Comic-Con. It feels like it's been Comic-Con because, you know, all the stuff has been going up for order, specifically with Hasbro, even though I didn't get a single thing because everything sold out apparently like a minute in, which is stupid, but we're here. We're doing our thing. We made it a little bit of late, but everything's working, hopefully, even with the new phone. So yeah, welcome. Maybe move this down just a little bit more just to show off. Oh, and I guess a little bit of an update. Sawman is not there anymore because he actually fell like earlier this week, and I woke up and I had the figure. It was on my lap because that's my bed right there. So, hey, Silent Rob, another Friday, another stream, another day of talking about figures. Let's fucking go. Let's go, bro. 2 minutes in. First F word. I actually need to grab my little thing. Hold on. Sorry, I'm not like entirely prepared. I've just been... This whole week has been a mess. I've had car problems. I've had just personal stuff going on. I've just been busy with work. But we're here. We're doing our thing. I did finally actually post, you know, like a reel on Instagram. It's just the same short as the Fantastic Four one, that we did earlier. So that was fun, actually getting stuff out there on the other socials. Let me actually get my little toolkit. Don't want that to fall over. There we go. The toolkit. It's what I use. Those figures were sick, dude. They're pretty good. If I'll be honest, those ones pretty much impressed me pretty well. And of course, we're going to look at them later because we got more Fantastic Four to think about. Oh yeah, but Silent Rob, I did want to show you something because I have been working on like on a Superman picture, or at least posing and trying to get parts. And yeah, and since we talked about Superman in our latest chat, I did want to show little kit bash I did. I know it's not really accurate to like what Lex wears and what he looks like, but I kind of did a kit bash of where I took the Marvel Legends animated Dr. Octopus and just put on I think this is just the standard head that came on the Professor X figure, the one with the hover chair. So I just put that on there. I do need to get a better Lex head, like one that actually looks like him, and you know, he doesn't have the eyebrows. But you know, I thought that this was pretty decent, and you know, yes, it is the yellow and the green. It's not like purple like it usually is, but I was like, this is like a perfect base body to use if someone did want to do a custom of Lex in his super armor in a Marvel Legends scale. Of course, it still has the tentacle bits, but this is right now, like my Lex for now. I'm definitely going to have to get a custom head and maybe see what I can do with these, yellow bits. I assume I would just have to paint, but Rob says, dude, that's really cool. I can totally see him being Lex. I bet you could put that on the Matt Murdock figure for a business suit look too. It looks like a cool battle armor Lex. Yeah, and that's what I'm really going for. It's like, I need a battle armor Lex because, of course, well, spoilers for the new Superman movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. What are you doing? It's so good. I saw it twice. I wanted to go see it a third time, but I'm like, I need to save money because I still need to see the Fantastic Four movie because I didn't see it last week. Plans just fell apart on it. So I'm like, all right, try for next week. So hopefully by the time the next stream comes around that we'll actually, have seen the movie. And, well, we won't do a Fantastic Four stream next week, but we're doing one this week because I planned it out. But yeah, cool little kit bash. Yeah, a cool little kit bash. Lex Luthor there. So, just an idea. It's just a starting one, but I like the thought of it. I think it's something that can work well. I like the thought of it. But yeah, what do we see there from Ratchetzilla? That's actually a cool name. It says, do you have the Maximum Hulk? And if yes, did it break? I do not have the Maximum Hulk. Have been people talking about it breaking? I haven't heard anything about that, at least for my sake. I did see it for the first time in person, last week at my local GameStop. It looks pretty all right. It's not worth the money that they're asking for. I think it's like $60. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a more premium figure. It's big, it's a Hulk, it has different hands, and it can do the thunderclap because it has the rubber torso. The head sculpts I don't really care for. It's not really my style. I think that they're fine, but it's just not for me. They're very specific, but I do like the missile effects, and I do like the little hand options that they give you. But I was like, I'll see. I do need to get the Maximum Spider-Man at some point. I know that's like everywhere, but I've just been waiting on that. I'm like, not really in a rush right now to spend that much on one figure. It's like if I do want to, I like to get it later on. But Ratchetzilla says, I feel like the price is a little bit better than the Maximum Spider-Man's price. Probably. I would think so, technically, based on all the reviews that I've seen of it. But I feel like the Spider-Man, I think it kind of, because what was it? About like 60? About 50? Kind of about that same price range, I would think. I would assume so. In any case, it's mine. I feel like my screen is so like desaturated. I don't know if that's just for my display or I guess we'll do a retouch. That looks awful. We're going to turn that off. We're going to keep it that way. Lighting. Relighting on. That looks a little better. But Rob says, do the cryptos that came with the Fond Joy Superman have articulatable jaws? That's cool. Like, are they like ball joints or are they just like a hinge? Because that's nice. Okay. Because, in my opinion, it has been interesting. That usually is like with Superman. Okay. Yeah, and I kind of get it. That they don't really, it's like any kind of like Superman that comes with Crypto. Crypto doesn't really have that much articulation. He's basically a statue. And I feel like Crypto is very, as we've seen in the movie, Crypto was very kind of like involved, very physical, very, very, very violent as a dog. And he's a super dog. He's a crazy super dog. So it makes sense. But, but it's kind of like, I kind of want a fully articulated Crypto. Give me a single release. Maybe have him come with like bits and stuff, or I don't know, like what specifically he could come up, come with like a chewed up, like a T-sphere, one that can fit in his mouth, like something like that. Like give me like a full blown like a crypto, yeah, with a wired cape, maybe like ball jointed ears if they can do that too, and just give me a cool dog figure. I want a crypto. Give me a cool crypto that can articulate, that can pose, that can do all that stuff, has a stand to fly, of course. But yeah. But that Fondoy, but that Fond Joy, that Superman though, probably technically I would say the best one of what's out there so far. Need to see the Mezco in person for sure. Need to see like their final product. It's like the one that they had at the booth at SCCC. It's like the pictures of that looked all right. Yeah. I was like, okay, this looks okay. Maybe they can improve a bit. Maybe, but then they already put it like out there like on pre-order. It's not an exclusive. It's just a general release, so I'm not really too worried about it. But those promo images very much, very much on the side of very much, but photoshopped. And I was just like, I'm not impressed. This doesn't make me want to spend my money on it. So just gotta wait. Just gotta wait and see what's gonna be out there. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where where one of like the third party companies is just gonna swoop in and really take the cake. But I don't really have that many like third party kind of like specifically like DC stuff. I've been very good at kind of like, well, yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad technically, but it's like it's like with DC I kind of stick with either with Mezco mainly to get like my main characters, like that's like like majority of my Justice League is all Mezco based, and then even like majority of my Batman stuff is all Mezco because I love their interpretations of the designs and they just work so well. So yeah, I also have a few McFarlane, but that's for like specific styles, specific looks, and specific characters. Like so, for instance, I have the Martian Manhunter. I have the regular release for him, and he looks good, but he's kind of tall compared to like a Mezco because he's like a full inch higher. So just stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I do want to mention before I get too far into this, no weekly pickups. I haven't been out shopping around for figures. I've been kind of saving up just in case, because of my car. I've had issues there, had to already spend money dealing with that. But then also because of Comic-Con time, and I was like, okay, we're going to save up and see if maybe we can get something, but we haven't because Hasbro doesn't know. Because I was going to get, my plan was to get their Marvel Snap 3-pack that had Sauron or Sauron. Is that his name? I forget how to pronounce it. It just looks like Sauron. I'm like, it's Sauron. Why does this pterodactyl man have a name of a wizard? I don't get it. And then that was also with the Cave Woman. I can't remember her name. Apologies. And then, of course, the Savage Land Rogue. And I was going to hopefully pick that up on the Hasbro Pulse site. But that thing was apparently gone in a minute. I wasn't able to look until about like 12:06. And I was like, that's probably gone. But maybe if I'm lucky. And it was, and I was bummed out. And then even then, I'm trying to remember what the other exclusive I was gonna get. Oh yeah, and then I was also planning on getting the Anakin and Obi-Wan set because I loved like those little the droid parts that came with that Obi-Wan and Anakin set, but that one also sold out. So it's this whole like the Hasbro Pulse specifically, yeah, with their Comic-Con exclusives have just been not great. I mean, apparently, like, they lasted like a minute or two, and then they're just all gone. Not even when it comes to like the premium guys, like they even didn't even get theirs too. Like a lot of them. So it's like, how little do you make of this when you know you're gonna have a public release an hour before, like to like the general, you're gonna have your premium guys, and apparently even then, like a minute into that, they're gone. What? Well, what are you doing? You don't want to make money? Make more, please. And apparently they did like a re-release of the of the Dreadnoughts. Like they put like some more up, like a few hours ago. But that set I could really care less about. John Rob says I'd like a fully articulated crypto too. Sorry, my thing didn't go. I don't know why my live chat just stopped working. That's so stupid. Okay. So Ratchetzilla said earlier, no, we read that. But Ratchetzilla asked, cause like aren't most Hulk figures like $40? Before they've been about like 35, maybe 40. So pretty good. And then Rob did say it's a hinge. I don't know why my thing wasn't working. Also, keep doing that. And then Silent Rob said he's basically a statue, but I think it's cool that it came with two. There's a flying pose and then a standing one. And there's a hole you can plug a stand into the stomach. Yeah, I saw your picture. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But Silent Rob also says like a fully articulated crypto too. It would be so nice. You know, do like the thing that G.I. Joe does. Because they got like dogs, they got wolves. So I think that they could do it. And then Ratchetzilla said, I gotta go. Well, I'll see you later, Ratchetzilla. Hopefully you'll join us for another stream. I think you were on a previous stream. Forgive me if I forget names. It's been a busy time. Also, I'm trying to make sure all my... No. Oh, well, thank you for subscribing. I just saw that. Thank you. That's there. I know that's there. Okay. We're getting all my stuff going. I know. It's like, we're already like 18 minutes in it and we're rambling. And I kind of have to, look at a lot of figures because we're looking at a whole nother Fantastic Four wave, which is insane to say in this time. Especially because I've been sitting on these figures for like literally years, like ever since like they came out. Like I got these figures mainly, kind of like within like the first like month or two that they were out. So these guys have been sitting in a container in my basement for years, not even like displayed on the wall, because that wasn't even a concept back then. I didn't even have the idea of doing that until recently, until like, technically this year. And I was like, okay, I got to do something about a big blank wall, because I don't got very much on my wall, because it's all just figure stuff. Well, I don't even have any like that much figure stuff. I got like 2 shelves up there near my window, but I got nothing else. I got like signed comics, some pictures, some other figures. So I just had to put more on the wall. Sorry for rambling. But it's crazy. Why the live chat thing? Okay, it's working. I'm just trying to make sure, because I hate when YouTube does that. Whenever like I'm trying to chat with y'all and it doesn't pop up the chat, when you guys are talking. So I don't know why it does that. Let's see. That's top. So that's live, and that's none. So it's live. So it's working. Hopefully. Unless like settings are weird on here, which I wouldn't be surprised because it's a brand new phone. But yeah. Anyways. I guess if y'all don't want to ramble about anything, I guess I still want to complain a bit about not getting No, like, yeah, that Marvel Snap 3-pack. Because I was looking forward to getting those because you had, like, the Savage Land Rogue and you had, yeah, the Cave Woman and then Sauron. I think that they all looked pretty good. They were all figures I've needed for a bit. It's like, especially when it came, yeah, to Sauron, because I did not complete the wave back in the day, unlike, I guess, a lot of people, because people were complaining about this, being like, oh, we're getting this again. And I'm like, I'll take this again. He has a hypno effect. He's got the weird thing with the eyes, and yeah, he's got a purple, yeah, like a loincloth, yeah, like yeah, a loincloth instead. So I'll take it. It's a cool ass figure. It's not bad. I know people are tired like yeah, of like constant reuse, but I'm like, give me it. Give me that guy every day. I don't care. I don't care how I get that figure. I need it at some point. I'm in no rush now because I'm like, well, the set's gone. I don't think there's any way I'm really going to be able to get it for at least yeah, at least yeah, like for the retail price. Retail, as in being a convention price, I guess. But you know, something to look forward to. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to pick up yeah, that 3-pack at some point, but the future will tell. And the money will be spent, so. But yeah, but if y'all don't have any questions about anything, interested in any topics, we might just move right on in, because as I said before, we do have a lot to look at. So yeah, I'll give y'all a couple minutes, get a couple minutes to think if I want to show y'all anything, because you know, we don't have any pickups. We're just kind of chilling. We're living. We're doing our thing. I don't think of what's here on the shelf. I did update my entire you know, my MCU shelf, so that was nice to kind of accommodate a bit for the Fantastic Four, but they're not there on the shelf right now, so that'll take time. But yeah, I don't think we got anything going on, so we're gonna switch on over and get a look at our Marvel Legends retro carded Fantastic Four wave, including one of the extras that came out later. But we'll see. Here we go. So there is at least our first two that we're going to be looking at. So here we have the Mr. Fantastic of Reed Richards. We got Invisible Woman. We got Johnny. Then we got Ben Grimm. The Thing. Can this all fit? Of course not. Well, excuse me, look how many figures. Well, you can see the light angle, excuse me. But then, of course, we do also still have the Psycho Man and High Evolutionary back there. And then, of course, our last one that we'll probably look at for the night is going to be the, I think this was a Hasbro Pulse Invisible Woman figure. Reed. Johnny, please stop taking up space. Camera, focus. Focus on that. Look at that. Look at her. Oh. She looks so cool. It's cool to have that little figure. It kind of gives like those retro vibes. It's so cool. But in any case, oh, that's a little too far. Live chat working. But yeah. So I think kind of like we did with our last video, if y'all want to see any of these specifically first, be sure to, you know, leave it in the live chat of what you want to see. But if not, probably going to start off with Reed again, and then go to Sue, and then go to Human Torch, Johnny Storm, and then go with Thing, and then do our two villains, however we want to. You know, we're going to zoom out just a bit. There we go, because we do got a lot to look at. They are in abundance. They really take up so much space. But this, but the retro packaging is, of course, beautiful. They all look so good together. Ooh, trying to get... Okay. Oh, sorry. What the heck? All right. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, it took me to a link for some reason. Okay. Now we're back again. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead. We're going to clear off this table, and we're just going to look at Reed first. We'll kind of give him the real... He's going to be, I guess, like our major... Oh, God. Ben, you are pretty heavy. Our major... I guess like our main kind of Fantastic Four character, technically. This cord thing is in the way. Sorry if this all looks like crap. I'm kind of just going with the flow. Because using this new camera is weird. This kind of changed the lighting. Relighting. And relighting is on. There's a retouch. Which I do not want to do. That looks ugly. I haven't really been looking at my stuff with my settings, but there's Psycho Man there looking all kind of badass, let's be frank. Oh, we're gonna get High Evolutionary out of here. Maybe we gotta do a more cooler tone with these figures. It kind of seems to fit more. Yeah, that looks way better. What am I doing? You know, color theory and all that. Colors do kind of matter with the presentation in a bit. And then there's Fully Invisible Woman to look forward to in the future. Put this and that. We're stacking. I probably should have planned this before. I'll have to look at like my previous live streams, because this is how I think I did it. I would just have the one, and if I have another, I'll just pull it out and be like, oh, we're looking at this a little bit later. We're gonna move this light. Excuse me. Trying to acquire my best lighting conditions. Also not destroying everything. That seems okay. Zoom this out. And there is our Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Of course, that cord is in that frame, which freaking sucks, but here it is. Okay. Of course, he doesn't really fit perfectly here. I guess I could just do best of my ability. Could have just literally hold up this figure. Look at all those Spider-Mans. Like, they're literally here. But yeah, there's our Mr. Fantastic. I am actually going to come in a little closer, because I don't want to destroy my back. Excuse me for all the moving around in chaos, but cool little Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards and all this retro carding. So where it has the Mr. Fantastic in red there with the black kind of stripe at the bottom and a nice little image of Reed in his white costume. But with the long arm going on there, which we do not have. He has the kind of weird long fingers, which we'll get into, and also does have the lab coat. But then this does have the retro kind of packaging, kind of design and art style with the Red 4 and the space background with the Fantastic Four there, and yeah, in the words. And then also with a nice little cartoon artwork of all 4 of them, which is really cool. On like the little, like the Fantastic Jet or whatever that is, or the Fantastic Cycle, whatever they call it. But Sound Rob says, I have the stream going on my TV. Sick, bro. Thank you, Rob. I'm glad I can be seen in high definition. I guess. Look at my nails or whatever. Well, look at that. Some badass artwork. Cool figure. Warning, choking hazard, Hasbro. All that. And then on the back, have your Marvel Legends logo there with that same space background going on here with the Fantastic Four logo. Same there. Well, wording. It's not really the logo. It's the wording, to be correct. And then a different image of Reed, still using the stretchy arm, which is not an option here. So it's weird that they would show that. So why would you just give them the arms that you have, or maybe just include these as extras? Because there's a lot of bear space. They could have put like the extra long arms here, kind of as like a fun surprise. I mean, there's so much dead space at the bottom here. You can see it down by his legs. You can fit them literally right there. So that would have been nice. But having 2 pairs of arms is probably too much. But doing the ones that make sense, we can't do that. So But Mr. Fantastic in the blue, and have a little bio as Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards utilizes his scientific brilliance and pliable form to make a difference in the world. Is that it? Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards, he utilizes his scientific brilliance and pliable form to make a difference in the world. Oh, okay. That's in 4 different languages there. Have the Fantastic Four wording. Again, also look for in different languages, where we have Mr. Fantastic, Marvel's Thing, Marvel's Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Psycho Man, and High Evolutionary. I'll have all your little warnings. Got my little price tag. Got this up at my local comic shop. I think it was at Rocket Comics. I believe so. It's been a while. I mean, when did this come out? This was in what? Is that there? That should be here. In this cacophony of words, I believe. Oh, there it is. 2021 Hasbro. Right there. So it's been 4 years. Count it. 4. Fantastic Four. I guess it was time. It's all symbolism. And that's why he's got the 4 long fingers. What? Okay. In any case, I know I'm being ridiculous. We'll get this guy open. But love this old packaging. Love this retro style. I'm going to figure out what figure I can... which one to see, not to open at some point. Because I'm definitely going... Okay. Because I definitely still need to get the Johnny. Now that I got this guy. But we'll have to see how he feels. So we're going to open this as we're explaining this. But definitely have to get to a point where I want to get a figure in this way to kind of display on the wall, because I love this retro packaging, more specifically for the Fantastic Four. I think it just looks the best, and I like the artwork and the style. So, so we'll have to get more figures from this wave. I know they have like a Herald of like Galactus, who's like a fire guy. He's got like a fire rod. I think he is a Herald. Because it would make sense, because it's Silver Surfer, so you would have another dude there who also would serve with Galactus. And then I think also continuing that wave, they had they did have a Doctor Doom, but that one I didn't really care for because I just liked their first version that they did of Doctor Doom pretty well. So I was like, I don't really need this one. It's not really my favorite look. It's not my main look. When I think of a Doom, but and then they also have the new the She-Hulk. That's in that new release too, and that should be coming out probably pretty soon, I think. But I can't wait to get that figure at some point. I definitely need to get her because she looks great, and we need and I need to still get like the regular, like the retro Iron Man wave She-Hulk figure because that one looks great too. Oh god. But yeah, but we're gonna use our trusty X-Acto blade here. Get this open. I haven't really actually thought about how to open it. I guess I'm just gonna go from the bottom at first because I do always want to try to save the actual carding if I'm gonna open this, and which I am. But trying to think, what do y'all think is the best way? I might just go from the bottom, but I'm gonna do it behind camera because I don't want to injure myself, to be frank. Oh. This feels very tedious. If I go or if I go up, so that open. I really have to think about how to open these packagings. This is very okay. Because because it is like that retro style, so it has like these two little lumps here. So it's like I'm gonna be cutting up here, well on this side, and then I'll be cutting at the top, and then just folding that down. At least that's my intention. Because I was thinking about going down, go down through the bottom. I shouldn't be doing that. It's like I was thinking about going down through the bottom here, but I'm like, but I got these two big lumps here. I'd rather just go along the top because I do have a kind of like a guide there. I know it's going to be cutting it close, but with an X-Acto, it might just work out. Even though I'm not very good with X-Acto blades, they just kind of scare me. I always try to be pretty careful. Broke a bit of it. There we go. Broke through there. So now we got to try our top part. Excuse me if this is very awkward. Or I'm going to mute my mic for a minute. So we shall be back in a minute after we get this thing open. Excuse the time. I guess this is your, I would say, intermission. So we'll be right back. And maybe we'll put something on camera. In a minute. What is it? All right, we are back. Excuse that little camera thing, but we did get this done. It is very, it's kind of scary, but we got our trusty Hasbro paper, as always. Be gone. Okay. Do want to get out. I don't know how we're gonna get this out. Gonna hold it. Kind of pull. I think I'm gonna destroy the packaging though. Let's get that out. There we go. Bit of work. Keep the integrity. We might try going from the top next time, because this one actually did have a fracture at the top before, if you can even see that. Yeah, right there. Where it's already broken there, so I probably just should have done around there, but even still. Just for example, I guess, of how long it takes to open one of these figures, which is very long. And that's why people do videos. But I don't. And mine's all bent up now. But there it is. Nice little logo. It can be used. I'll probably save it. I'll just probably cut off the 2 tab pieces. Well, what does that have? It just has its number, part number. All right. Pretty neat. Some cool art. Then we got Reed. Get him. All his plastic glory. Nothing much here, but still pretty neat little set. Really just like Reed in the lab coat. Definitely looks, I would say, technically better than the last one just by looking at it. We'll get out his arms here first. So you have both the left and the right arm. So this is when Reed isn't wearing the lab coat. He has the blue arms there. They do have pins, but have the long, weird fingers. I can't really... Maybe get the camera to focus a bit better. There we go. But they do have like weird, like fabric kind of texture a bit to them. I can get this thing working. I don't know why this doesn't work. I guess it's like, it's just too white. So it's just not gonna focus on it, but also, I guess, kind of break up more on that, but not bad. Definitely like just weird. There's like, oh, this is kind of more creepy than anything. But nice little parts to have. Now, actual Reed. Feet first. As we do on the channel here. There we go. There. I can get him to stand before we move. Mr. Reed Richards, why are your feet so old? One's kind of stuck. The other one's moving okay. Yeah, that foot is like This foot is like entirely stuck. It is not. This one is going. That one is ancient. I am not going to be pushing that any more than that. That's all my power I'm using there, but nothing. So we're definitely going to have to heat that up. So that's already something, I guess, to look forward to. A little bit of flesh skin on the pants as well on the inside, but that just came off super easily. Reed. Looking up here. Gonna get him down. Hello, Mr. Richards. How are you doing, sir? We'll get you in a more natural lighting. Actually, it does kind of work better. But there he is. More closer. With the lighting. Oh, I think I prefer that a bit more. Okay. Yeah, but there's our Reed. Actually looking not too bad. Of course, the eyes are still a little bit old. Like how they do that paint detail on there, it's still very old G.I. Joe, like just painted head. But it's definitely better compared to their first attempt, I would say. I do like the skin tone a bit better, and then how everything is more matted is very nice. Pretty cool. I would say the neck is not really that clean on the back, as you can see. It's a little, it has that blue on there. I guess that paint is kind of deteriorated over time from being in the package, I guess. Or this just needs just a bath. This just has like little paint issues, I think, all over, even on the other white part of that collar. But you have the whole costume here. You have the lab coat, which is a very unique thing to have. It has the white gloves and then is wearing the white and blue Fantastic Four uniform with the black 4 with the white circle and the white on the neck and kind of shoulder areas and on the belt and onto the feet there. Which one still does not go on, but then blue on the pants. So pretty good. Looks pretty nice. I do like the design. I think it just works for the Marvel Legends style. I think that this is what I kind of expect from this. It does feel like a pretty good upgrade compared to the old Reed Richards. I would definitely kind of maybe prefer this kind of look for him because I do kind of like the idea of Reed actually doing lab stuff. I feel like he could use like some test tube things, or he has like a little tool or a little device he uses. Would be kind of interesting to display him. It's like, yeah, he does have the stretchy thing, but he's also like a scientist. So not too bad. But yeah, I guess we can get into our articulation for a bit here. But this is kind of just like your standard with your, I think with your disc or like your little wheel, I guess. I guess that is just like a disc. Yeah, with a ball at the top there so you can look down that far, look up this far. You can look almost all the way around. You do kind of get hindered by the lab coat at first, but you do have a little bit of back and forth, so not too bad even. A little bit of shift, not really, but not too bad. Good amount of range there. Then at the shoulders with the lab coat, go up about that far, not too bad. Of course, you go all the way around. You have a bicep swivel, double jointed, pinned elbows. Have good range. But Rowdy Ryle says hopefully they do pinless updates soon with butterfly joints and stuff. A butterfly joint on this figure would actually go hard. I would love to see like this with but with the no pins too. Definitely the same there. It's like, of course, it's like for these, I don't think it's that bad because at least that they have like the same colors on the inside and outside, so they kind of blend in a bit if you're not really looking that hard at it, and especially because of my lighting, I think it kind of helps hide, especially on the white more. On the legs, it's kind of obvious there, but you just have to get like the right angle. So with that doesn't bother me too much with the pins. But yeah, but having some butterfly joints on this would go insane. And more crazy this. Maybe not this anymore. But But I do actually wanna we have to do articulation still. But then so your arm goes about that far up. Then at the hands, and I think with all of the hands you have a rotation and then a hinge that is in and out there. And then at the torso you have a ab crunch, so you go forward about that far, not too bad. Go back, it's probably hindered by the lab coat, but at least can go that far. But when we take it off, we'll see that difference there. And then of course does have a waist rotation there, can literally do a full 360, which kind of works. He's Mr. Fantastic. He can do whatever he wants with his body. And then at the hips, they are a little stiff. Yeah, I'll have to heat that up too, so I can't move that entire leg right now. So yeah, so this whole leg goes up about that far. Knee comes about that far. Just not bad, I guess. I'll have to see how much that lab coat. I don't think I don't think the lab coat hinders it too much, but well, it can actually make it like all the way there, so that's pretty good. And then of course, as we saw with what we can do with this foot, hinge back, hinge forward, and then beautiful ankle rocker, which this one does have. So you do get the rocker, but you need the hinge because it literally is stuck in one position. And then this leg entirely just doesn't want to move. So I can really only like do that with the limitations. Well, this one can also bend. But then if I'm doing that, it's like I might as well just have him, I don't know, just standing there. He's not very action-oriented right now. I feel like he's just going to fall over every time I try to move him. So that kind of sucks right now. But I think he'll look all right. Just kind of just standing there. That is kind of... Yeah, you can tell that is kind of actually different. It's more glossy and that's more matte on the inside, so that's kind of weird. It's like a different blue. It's like a shinier blue. So that's kind of weird. Okay, but now we're going to do... Well, now we're going to have our fun with this guy, because we're going to put on these weird... Do I literally need to go get a stand just for Reed? There's so much white paint going everywhere. I hate white paint. But he looks fine. He looks great, though. He cuts a mean silhouette. he stands there. But we're going to switch out our hands first, just to see the look on the lab coat. So we'll probably keep the lab coat off after switching them. We're gonna get him going there. And the long arms do have a in and out hinge and rotation, so that's nice. I guess we can do that angle. Ah. Like, take that. He's like, I'm gonna grab you with my long fingers. Look at my long fingers. This is so weird. It's like a horror movie. It's like, or it's like a bar. The friggin' jump scare. Fantastic Four jump scare. Okay. But yeah, but it's weird with the lab coat. It doesn't really work. Unless you like do, I guess, like a more casual. As we'll always do a more kind of like a where he's just like reaching. For something. And he's like beginning to like form his hand or something. He's like, I only need the one hand. Or he's trying to like grab a tool while like working on another thing. And he's like, I'm just gonna send just the fingers because that's all I need. Or he's like typing on a keyboard like really like crazily or something. I don't know. It's all right. Not the best. So I just put on the regular hands. But we are going to switch out the arms here. So they just come right out. There we go there. And that overlay comes off, and then we can actually see the whole actual plug-in points there. And then we can actually see the full range of our back joint there. I know it's kind of weird without the arms, but pretty good. But we can see, just like the whole rest of the costume, all that sculpting that's kind of lost there at first, but now get that back with our arms here. My arms are a little messy with the paint too. It's like the main like costume, just a little bit messy with this, with this color scheme. Always with the white, and then this one just can't. And then this foot is still not going. He's at like he's always at an angle. We'll just put him with the regular hands. They are kind of a tight fit. I think that these ones are a little bit bigger. There's our Reed Richards in his all white attire. Not too bad, honestly. I think I do kind of prefer this. I do like the white we'll have to really see. I'll have to, yeah, just like straight up compare them. But I gotta get through these figures. I'm already an hour in, and I'm only through one figure because I've been rambling and trying to open it. So yeah, pretty cool. And I guess we'll, I don't know. Okay, we gotta do the thing. Oh my god. Don't break the figure, please. Trying not to. Well, that one is stuck in that arm. So we're just going to do just the one, I guess, again. So my other hand is now stuck in this arm. Okay. So I'm going to not keep pulling on that. I'm just going to push that back in. We're not going to touch that from now on. Half of this figure is kind of not movable as of right now. But there he is. I mean, I can still move this fine. And that, honestly, that's not too bad. That's something. I kind of get what they're going for. It kind of gives that effect of it, in my opinion. At least, like, in this angle, I kind of see what they're going for. When you're, like, doing, like, the traditional pose. But, you know, it's still weird. It's still weird that you would, like, do this specifically. But he does look very weird. He's Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, it looks like his arm is, like, super, like, short and lanky, kind of. And while this one is still, like, a little bit more bigger and closer. And I do like how, like, the shoulder body actually is. I do actually like the body. Not too bad. I would like to see an update, because I think that they could do this probably way better now. But, you know, but they didn't announce, like, anything, like, at Comic-Con, like, for, like, any of the Fantastic Four. Like, nothing. They had just the movie figures, and then, like, one Doctor Doom, and it was like a okay, it's like a super Doctor Doom. He's got like he's got like the cape and the eye of Agamotto and like other magical items. And other like weapons. But we needed like more Fantastic Four stuff. I was so ready to be like, let's get a Mole Man. Let's get anything. Stop telling me about Fantastic Four and not showing me any Fantastic Four. Give me some comic figures, please. I need some villains. I need some bad guys. We only got like Iron Man and like Spider-Man. Need more, please. But yeah, not a bad Mr. Fantastic. Excuse me. Okay. We're going to clear this off. And we're going to kind of move on to our next figure. But this Mr. Fantastic, I'd say it's pretty good. It's not perfect. It's weird that it doesn't just come with the long arms, but I do appreciate what they're going for with this effect piece here. It's definitely a perspective thing. Speed Boy says, sad news, I did not cop the House of Spider-Man. Aw, that sucks. I think I do have that, personally. It's an alright figure. It's just on the pizza body mold. It's basically on this mold, essentially. Just in a different, actually, like, body mold. But the arms and stuff and the legs are the same. Oh, but this guy just doesn't... He just can't do a pose. Like, I'm trying to, like, just, like, even, like, just stand him up normally. And it's just, like, it's kind of a difficult task, but... There he is. Speed Boys says I was the one who asked you about it when you were unboxing the Secret Wars figures. I do remember that. I do remember you mentioning that because I was doing, yeah, that black suit Spider-Man. Talking Spider-Man, and then brought up the House of M Spider-Man. Probably. Okay. Pretty good, Mr. Fantastic. Move him to the side. So now we're going to move on. Get my camera back on balance. Hopefully this looks decent. But now we're going to do probably the roughest figure of the bunch, which is the Invisible Woman. Is my camera like all dirty? Hold on. Oh, does that look better? That looks a bit better. Do her in that darker blue. And there she is, guys. Looking exactly like her picture. Entirely. Oh my god. What did they do? What did they do? This is, oh my. But nice effect. And it looked good as a figure. Just not that head sculpt. But great packaging. I know we're already talking about the figure, but cool packaging. Just the same as we've seen before previously on Reed. But now you have the Invisible Woman kind of change-ups there showing up on the instructions of the classic style. And then with that same image on the back, have your bio. After receiving superpowers, Sue Storm Richards co-founds the Fantastic Four and emerges as the single most powerful member of the group. That's cool. She's like the most powerful one. That's crazy. Like, yeah, cool. And then you got Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Psycho Man, High Evolutionary. 2021 Hasbro. Got this one at GameStop. $18. This stuff would be like $25 now. It's insane. The economy, whatever. Okay. But yeah, we're going to get her open. I'm going to see what I can do a little bit easier. I don't know what really would be easier than just going like from the top, I guess. So we're going to try to do that, but we're going to do that off camera. So I'll get to just look at Reed for right now as we take our other intermission. It's so like ridiculous how this packaging like actually is working. I guess I could get it. I guess I have another idea of how I can get it. I think it'll work, but I guess we'll just have to see. Move that. So we're going to cut this part, the top of the packaging. So that is able to come out. And then we're just going to do just the top of that packaging. Okay. Then we have top of the thing there. Okay. A bit rough, but we got her open. We're gonna get out our pieces here. I am not all, I don't think I'm all cut up from it. There's our Sue back there with our Reed. This isn't about you. It's about the woman. Sorry, I'm thinking of animal. Woman. Invisible Woman. Look at that. And then we have the full packaging opened here at the top there. Very tedious. Oh. And then our Hasbro paper always takes the dive, but makes an appearance. There goes our Invisible Woman thing there. Well, I guess we just got to keep the whole thing because this has the hand on it. So, or I can just cut it there. But that looks bad with the seam, so I guess we'll keep it. Still pretty good. And then, there she is. Oh, the infamous. The vintage face of Sue Storm. Sculpt isn't like bad. It's just the paint. It's just straight up just the paint, I think. It just wasn't ready for the times. And this was cut all the way. Look how precise that was. We're gonna get that out here. Get her hands. Go here. There are our hands. There. There they are. Good, and then there's our Invisible Woman hand. Has like a little divot for that magic wielding hand, I think. Then Speedboy said, thoughts on the new Hasbro Spider-Man and Mephisto 2-pack. Is it a 2-pack? Isn't the Mephisto just by himself? And then Spider-Man, I think, like, their only big thing. Yeah, the Mephisto, like the single. Yeah. Yeah, the Mephisto, I think he looks great. I definitely need to order him. Just kind of not really in a rush to get that, because that has, like, I think still about, like, like a few months down then. The Spider-Man is Todd McFarlane style, so I'm buying all stock. Are you talking about the like the Magic Spider-Man? Like the Magic the Gathering, like the one that's all like beat up. But there's our packaging. There's our the Spider-Man from the 2-pack. Well, what does that look like? I can't remember what. Is there a 2-pack? I don't think that there is a 2-pack. I don't think there is a Spider-Man and Mephisto 2-pack. There's a Mephisto, but he don't come with no Spider-Man. He come with a throne. He got like a big throne and a swords, different head, he has the wired cape. There is no Mephisto 2-pack I've ever heard of. Unless it's like a brand new thing that just came out. But which I am not on the interwebs right now as of I am alive. Doing my show, trying to get my camera straight. But there's our Invisible Woman. Spider-Man and Mephisto 2-pack that is on pre-order right now. The Spider-Man is Todd McFarlane style. You probably have to send me a link. To be frank. Because I got no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of a 2-pack. So I'll look it up. But if it is a Todd McFarlane, I mean, because that's like the maximum Spider-Man that gives me thoughts of. If they would do something that much to like go with that. But it's not like a campaign. Here, we're going to try to get Invisible Woman. She is a bit weird as well. I'm just trying to get her also working. But her face, golly gee, it is not amazing. I mean, I think like the sculpt is there, but it's just like that paint. I just can't with that paint. It's just so. The camera doesn't even want to focus on it. It's not that good. Here's a link or an image. Okay, sweet boy. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll look into it. Like also like off stream too. Cause then it got me curious about what's going on while I'm doing my live stream. I think we just have this hand go in here. It feels right. Oh, maybe it is. This hand. Yeah. And this one has just a single joint. But she doesn't look too bad. I think it's like, I definitely think like the head sculpt could be better. I think the painting especially is a big factor for it. But overall, I think it's fine. I like the hair. I think it's just the face. That's really it. But I love that little shield effect. It definitely is kind of like the same as what you also get in the movie figures. Yeah, I do like the kind of like the bubbly, I think, kind of effect it has. It's very much more of like a comic thing instead of like, it doesn't feel like a solid, like a shield. It feels like more like a matter, kind of like a goo kind of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, but then she does have alternate hands. But her hands on her body feel pretty tight. We can do the left hand with the fist, which I just dropped. How far are we? An hour and 22. Not doing awful. Could be better. Here's our Invisible Woman. With that, I guess we can do... Here, let me see. Maybe we per the instructions. But Speedboy says, I'm surprised that you aren't reviewing the MCU's versions. That was my previous stream, Speedboy. So be sure actually to check out the channel where I am. Yeah, where I have looked at the MCU versions. Yeah, the brand new ones, if that's what you're talking about. If that's what you count as MCU. Let me see if this thing, how does this work? It feels right. Oh, okay, so that's how that goes. Does that make sense? I think that does. What do they show on the package? Well, they show it on the right hand. So should it be on the right hand? Hold on. I'm going to check my box. Yeah, it goes on the it goes on the right hand. So why does that work on the left so much better? I don't know how it's supposed to latch onto this basic magic wielding hand. At least not that well. It can't support the weight. It just can't fit. And it doesn't even look good. Yeah, this just makes me not want to use that hand, even though it's stuck. Oh, well, we just pulled a little bit harder. Switch out with the other fist now. There we go. Switch out our other hand, because that one is clearly the superior. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to give her the best we can, which is kind of like this. Maybe a little bit more. A hardy stance. It's just with that face, though. It's just not the greatest. It looks okay, but it's like, this could be better. You can You can make that look better. I don't know. It's just, maybe it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how they did this. It doesn't look anything like the picture. It just don't. But in any case, the figure herself, she looks great. And, you know, I think we've been doing our articulation. So we'll do at least for her, because she's our one female character. But all the rest, I don't think we're really going to do that much, even though it's all kind of different, but the same. So you do get your ball with your disc in the neck. So you go down about that far, even with her hair. So that's not bad. And then you come back up about that far. You kind of jut up, kind of push that down. So you rotate there, side to side there, hinge up, come back down, rotate around, single jointed elbow there, rotation, and in and out on all the hands, and on the fist. And then at the torso, get antiquated. Have the ball with the rod that goes into the body. It moves around here, comes forward about that far, comes back about that far, comes side to side, and a little bit of rotation, but not all the way. Then at the legs, kick forward, that far, kick back, that far out. Have your thigh swivel, your double jointed knee, and then your typical actual boot here, actually your shoe joint. So that's actually kind of nicer than Reed's. His is like weird, like duck feet. But these are actual shoes, so pretty cool. Nice actual different sculpting that's going on there. So you get a hinge back that far, hinge forward, get your ankle rocker. So pretty cool. Yeah, not a whole lot of articulation on her. Definitely would be better having the new like the double joint system, and definitely need a new head sculpt for her. There we go. Oh. There we go. All right, so that's cool. We can use this. Oh, I'm just nervous about using this thing. I just hate having to finagle with this. Even if it is technically the wrong hand, but it fits the best. So it's like, what? What do you want me to do? Hold on. All right. Here we go. Not perfect, but she works. She's decent. It's just all about that head sculpt. I do want to try, okay, before we move on from her, I do want to try one few things that I thought of. So the two like closest heads I really like thought I could maybe like use, like maybe if I swap out the hair or the heads somehow, that I can make it just a little bit better. So I was thinking either the, my extra, like the Emma Frost from the black costume, kind of like get rid of like that blue and kind of like have the red instead, might work. And then also have the Nebula from from the What If episode, kind of maybe be able to convert this hair onto another head somehow, and then how it looks on the actual body there. It is kind of like that retro style. And then that's a more kind of modern, I would think, kind of style there. But I do like the hair there, so maybe I just gotta get a different headpiece. So even like this would probably work out, but we'll really have to see. So it's something to think of for potential, you know, changes on these figures. There they go. Then back here, nice little pair we have. I'm gonna take a water break. What is our time? Oh, it's only 9:35. We're not doing too bad. We start at 8. We're going now. Okay. Now, next up, it's going to be the Human Torch. Johnny Storm. I always want to say Johnny Blaze, but that's not right. It's Johnny Storm. Did I say Johnny Blaze before? I think I said Johnny Storm, but you know. The Human Torch. Nice packaging and all the rest of them. Really with the lighting on this guy. Look at that. He like glows. He glows in that lighting. But then you have his nice little Human Torch picture there, kind of that more comic accurate Human Torch there, but on this body with the figure. All that, then all the same things with the packaging and the Fantastic Four. Then have the same the little instructions there on switching out the hands and putting on the effects. Have that same image of like a Human Torch. And then your Human Torch name. Fiery and hot-headed, the Human Torch can burn through just about any adversity with a smile. And that's it, but in different languages. Fantastic Four, all the figures. 2021. Got this from Rocket Comics because it has a tag. Shout out to them. But yeah, pretty cool. So we'll try to attempt to get this guy open. I don't really. I'm getting like tired of like opening this. It's crazy how long it takes to open one figure. I'll just start from the top. And then just come down. And then just do that on the other side. So we are nearly there, honestly. I mean, pretty good progress. Is this working? And I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. Look at him. Look at the flames. Look at the fires. He actually looks pretty good. First of all, Hasbro paper. Second of all, box, containment, really cool, really nice. I should be nicer about that. Then there's our Human Torch, little nameplate, logo thing, packaging, pretty cool. Keeping that, just nice art. And there he is, our Human Torch. Looking pretty neat, looking pretty cool. I like the look he's giving off. Do we want to try more warmer tone? Might even work a little bit better for the effect. Or do more neutral? Might stick with the neutral for now, just because it's more of a fair thing there. You get with hands. First here. Here those are. Looking pretty good. Pretty nice. Oh. Something in my finger. Like plastic. Plastic shards. Oh. K-Mac, welcome back. Says I got that torch. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, I'm just finally unboxing him. I'm really excited. It's actually, yeah, he looks pretty cool. He has those same flame effects that they've been using. Yeah, they've been using these for the new, like, movie version. Like, what the hey? I kind of don't really like it for him, but, like, they kind of work, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Then getting the actual figure out. Oh, hold up. Okay. There's our plastic. K-Mac says we need a flame trail effect. Honestly, we do. I think there is some options, are there? I thought there were, like, technically, like, some options that would, like, yeah, that came, yeah, with other, like, Fantastic Four figures, like, I think specifically, like, the Mafex. Yeah, like, was probably, like, used a lot, or even if there was a, what was it, like the Marvel Select, if they did one that had that, I assume they did. Here's the Human Torch figure, kind of with a, yeah, with an all red, a see-through, kind of dark red, but has the actual lines there at the top of the face, and have like these gold eyes, and with this orange kind of spray at the top of the hair. It's kind of like a, yeah, it kind of is, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like a metal kind of a vibe to it. Yeah, kind of like of like the shine, but it does look like an actual flame of hair. And then you have the flame on the back. That's a separate piece on there. So if you don't want them with all that fire there, that does work. And then, of course, this is on, I think, just the Sunfire body. So you do have your pins there, but you do have these new forearms that have these, that have these flame effects. If these are new forearms, I can't remember. We'll see in a minute, but nice hands too. Reuse of those, but have the flames on them, so pretty cool. And have your lines that continue down to the feet and down to those guys there. So pretty cool. But then, of course, the difference with this figure is, of course, it has the butterfly joints there, and also, I think, main thing, it's just kind of like all that. Oh, and also, he does have a boot swivel, but everything is basically just the same. He can look up pretty far, though. So he has no problem doing his flying poses. That looks pretty sick. It looks so cool, honestly. That's cool. Look at him. I think it looks pretty sick. I love this look for him. So then the two pieces he do... Okay, so he does come with... So he comes with 2 magic effects and then 2 like regular hands that don't have fire on them, so... Guess we'll switch that out. Guess we put on a magic effect. I guess we can see what hand. Where did that hand go? Did I pick it up? Oh yeah, it's just right there. Okay. Okay. That hand and that hand are over there. These effects are going to go right there for now. And then we're going to put on the two kind of non-flamed hands. Which is nice to have, I guess, a different variety. I think it's probably meant to be more like this, I guess. But I do kind of think it kind of looks better if you put it up here on the actual bicep. I know like the colors don't really match up like perfectly, and it's not really how that fire will probably actually work. But I don't know. I'm just kind of experimenting. Trying to figure out how to get this guy to look decent with these hands. Because he does look kind of... they're not too bad. He looks kind of naked without like his flame hands. I think we'll at least do the flame fist. Maybe we do effect on this piece then. I think I'll just give him just his other flame hand, because it's just not really working with these bare hands and these magic effects. They just don't work with him, in my humble opinion. It just looks better without him. Gives him a more kind of like just streamlined thing. So I kind of wish he came maybe with some like fireballs or something more that he could like use. That was an actual like a weapon or like an effect of some kind. Instead of putting in just two hands and yeah, then two like flame effects. So yeah, I could have used a little bit of something else, would have been nice. But still, it is nice to get some good accessories, and I'm always thankful for extras anyways. Overall, this figure is still pretty good. It would be better, like, of course, if it was pinless, because these kind of do stick out a bit, but they're not too distracting. And then, of course, I think like the proportions could probably be a little bit better now. Not too bad. But this is this era of Marvel Legends, but look at this. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. Now, moving Johnny back here. Getting his accessories out of here. And he's pretty darn good. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so next up, we're going to have the Thing. We might call it good after this, because I'm getting actually kind of tired. I'm like running on nothing. Taking my water break. Taking a time to stretch. Kind of detoxify. Ooh. Kind of concentrate on what I'm doing. There's the Thing here. Is there. Looking cool. Very weird color scheme. Haven't really seen this that much, and it's weird how yellow it is, but it's there. But he fits the entire package. Like, there's a reason they have these. It's for his gigantic freaking feet. But nice little artwork. It's a little bit more kind of like modernish compared to the rest of them, at least in my opinion. Excuse me. But he looks pretty cool. Or Fantastic Four art there on the front. All of them in the little thing. The Four, Fantastic Four. Marvel Comics. I like the old logo. Vintage stuff. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. All right. Then we have the Fantastic Four wording there with the thing there. Marvel's thing name there, and then you can switch out the heads on the figure, and the little bio with his nearly indestructible body and incredible strength and stamina. The thing possesses the ability to crush evil. And then that in different languages. Fantastic Four with the whole line going on there. Hopefully we can get to these two. I might not feel up to it tonight. Maybe. It's almost been like 2 hours. We're doing good. We're doing 2 figures in an hour. I might not be able to do Invisible Woman. And we might be pushing it with our comparisons, but we're going to see what we can do. So we're going to do just the same method we've been doing, going from the top now. Read was our hypothesis. Our hypothesis. But now our actual experiment was on Invisible Woman. Well, we did do the read, so it was a thing we did do. And we found that it was not sufficient. So now we're doing it from the top with the cutting. If we can actually get it to go. Okay. We're getting the package open. Nearly there. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. And then they had another tray. Oh my God, Ben. Boom. Timber. You're being careful. Even though it may not sound like it. Being very delicate. Here is our, okay. Mr. Timber. The name, excuse me, Hasbro paper goes to the nether realm. Our Fantastic Four box. In the back, destroying one, crushing one of the Hasbro papers, as it should do. Knocking over this stuff. Oh, looky here. It's the Thing. Look at the Thing. Comes with a little tray for his fist, because not everything can fit in one old tray, especially with this size. So we'll take off our hands. And that goes away. So there is our hands. Pretty nice sculpt. I'm pretty sure, are they the same as the ones that we've had before, or are these a little bit different? I don't know, because I don't have them out in front of me, but I assume they are, because they just feel like just regular thing hands. They're pretty neat. And then they're in like that nice kind of like more bright orange kind of color, but doesn't have any like marking details. It's just in just that one orange color. But nice little thing for thing with the with the logo and then with the cartoon. Not the favorite. Pretty good. Alright. We got Ben here. He's got his second head. The Angry face. Mr. Angry. With the kind of like the yellowish highlight that's going on there, which is kind of weird. I don't know why you would have that. It looks like it makes him look like an armadillo. He's just an angry armadillo. And he's got okay eye paint, pretty clean teeth paint. That's actually kind of nice, but the sculpture's all right. It's just that weird highlight. He has the high brow there, the very thick brow. And this one, with the plastic, yeah, it's like a merging. Which is, this was a, he's alive. Oh, I know. I'm calling him a monster, but he's a thing. Well, look at that face. That is only a face a mother could love. Oh, he was literally looking in two directions. He is not looking at anything straight. That is crazy. I mean, I get he's supposed to be kind of like derpy and weird looking, but like, man, is that really how bad it was? I didn't think so, but you know, but it looks all right. It is weird. He has like this goldish kind of highlight. It's kind of like a yellowish gold highlight that's all the way around on the shoulders, onto the chest there, and then even down to the arms, and then even on the feet. The feet I kind of get. I kind of like the feet. It's kind of like decaying kind of thing, but it just doesn't look good on the rest of this. I think this is fine because it looks kind of different. This is not like as much. I mean, it's a lot there on the inside, but it's kind of more hidden. But if it's all together like this, because he's a big guy, so I'm trying to fit him in. Look at him. More natural lighting. But it looks alright. He looks neat. I mean, it's a cool thing figure. I mean, it's the one that we've been getting. So, you know, it's a nice rocky detail, but this time has the shorter shorts with the little like the V shape that's going on there, and has the white stripe. It's pretty cool. Bailey Kids, yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the live stream. We're looking at Marvel Legends. The Marvel Legends Fantastic Four. Bailey Kids asks, have you watched the new movie? I have not. Not yet. I need to. Probably will. Hopefully soon. But not yet. I was going to before, but just didn't have time. But yeah. Cool thing figure. But I need, of course, he's very different. He's more like a Build-A-Figure size, so he only has the single joint there, but has the big open hands here, the same as the ones that I still have on the original one that we'll see in a bit. But nice rocky legs. I do like the new pants that's going on there. He does have some stains on there. That's kind of embarrassing, Ben. You gotta clean your shorts. Bailey Kid says, could I see that Cyclops in the backs? Yeah, and the back right. This one? Sure. Do a little detour. Take a little show time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Might be a little dusty. Excuse me. There he is. You got the same one? Yeah, this is the X-Men 97 version. Usually I don't really display figures with their effects. Mainly like besides like the X-Men, because I do have like Professor X up there, like with a little like effect going on there, but it's kind of like the Cyclops. I think I kind of like it. I think I just prefer it. I think it's a cool look. I think they executed it pretty well, and I think it actually works with the style of the head sculpt even better. I think it's just a perfect figure. I love this Cyclops. Yeah. And Silent Rob says, it's clobbering time. It's clobbering time. We can even do him. Here, we'll switch out one of his hands. How about we do him? Okay. We're going to do him with the left open hand because everyone has a kind of slightly right open. Well, everyone has a closed right hand, mainly. Except for Reed. He has a fist for some reason, even though he has nothing to hold. Another weird thing that keeps happening with some of these figures. It's like, oh, we get accessories that don't really add to nothing. They're just kind of basic. They're just there. All right, so then now we're gonna switch out the head for thing. There's our initial head, our second head. I just noticed that Torta's leg is like all screwed up. That's a bit better, I guess. Why can't y'all just line up like perfectly? There we go. What do we have? Oh, here. Our angry head. Here. And I do actually like that. Bit more. I even thinking if I can do like a hand around fist. Or do just like a kind of like a oh. That's pretty good, but I also want them kind of like, yeah. He's more kind of like stanced up. He's like, okay, I'm gonna like run at you, grab you, and then punch you in the face. Like, I'm that powerful. I can just walk up to you and just punch you, and it doesn't do anything to me. Because he literally does that on the street. He's like, hey, you're messing with my bro. I'm going to punch you if you don't stop. And they're like, all right, I'm going to punch you then. And he's like, you idiot. I'm the thing. I'm made out of rocks. It's clobbering time. Bam. Some weird stuff that guy does. He's like, all right, calm down, y'all. But I won't hesitate to punch. Because if you swing, I'll swing back and even harder. Even if you hit me, it don't even matter. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I kind of like that, yeah. Kind of athletic. I guess he's doing a bit of the splits. I could just have him. Have him just stood up straight. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's pretty cool too. Of course, as we said, we're not really going to go over articulation very much, just because we want to keep up with time. But nice looking figure. Weird with the the goldish yellow highlights. Probably gonna find a way to remove those if it's able to do safely. But yeah, still a pretty neat figure though. Not bad at all. Oh, well, at least I saved him from falling off. The family. No. It's clobbering time. Course. Course is the thing. Takes everyone out. But we're gonna get the fam right here. Everyone. All together. Sue kind of gotta go over there, but Johnny we can make over there. Of course, Reed. Doing his thing. But Silent Rob asks, yeah, but Bailey Kids says, actually, I got a lot of the ones on the left. Cool. Yeah, a lot of like these figures, like the Spider-Man, yeah. I got a lot. But Silent Rob says, do you have a Doctor Doom? I can't remember. I do have a Doctor Doom. And we'll see him in a bit. But I do want to, do I think I have enough time? I think I'm at least going to do my bad guys. And then I think we'll call it a stream. Because how long has it been? It's 10:16. Don't want to go on for too much longer, to be honest. But I think we can get at least my villains done. And then we'll say we've got the entire wave. That's what I feel like I promised. So first, because we're just going to go in order by the actual wave, essentially. Well, I didn't go in order, but I did it in my order at first, essentially, with the 4. But a great Fantastic Four all together. Looking really, really cool. Looking nice. Look at these guys. It's just great. So well done. Trying to focus on it. And I even get them all more spread out to their own or individual section, but kind of still together. Ooh. Silent Rob coming in with the hard-hitting question. Who do you think would win in a fight? The Thing or the Hulk? That's the old question, ain't it? Crazy, crazy question. But in my opinion, I would think the Hulk. I think that the Hulk just, just based on like pure like strength and like even like size alone, he's bigger, he's meaner, he's more kind of like rabid. He's more of like a crazed animal. The Thing does have an actual conscious, more kind of like emotional thing. Like it's still like Ben Grimm under there. It's still just a guy. But he's just angry because he looks like a monster, essentially. So they do crime fighting and save the world. And you're like, all right, this is what we're doing. We're working together and doing this to make the world better, I guess. And I understand what's going on with us. But really cool, really good team. Really like seeing them all in the white. Of course, you don't really see Ben in it, but there he is. They all match. They all look so good together. So cool. So nice. We will move them off of the table here. Great figures. Lots of fun. Oh, that did fall off. I knew I was missing something. When did you fall off? I forgot I had this piece. That apparently fell off at some point. I can't remember when, but there it is. Makes them look even better. And Rob says, I think it would maybe be Hulk 2. I'm not sure what all the thing can do. To be honest, I know he's pretty tough, though. Yeah, the thing is pretty tough. I mean, his literal skin is like meteor rocks or whatever it was. It's just a lot of like space stones or rocks. So it's pretty tough. I mean, that stuff is like out there in space, I assume. So it has to go through like so many hardship and like conditions to like get through and make it, I guess, to like Earth, like the atmosphere, like out there, outside of Earth, or whatever happened. I can't remember exactly. But we'll see. All right. Okay. I think we're gonna do this out. Then over there, and then we're gonna go on with our villains. So we got Psycho Man, our first villain. There's my light. Nice little art there on the front of Psycho Man. With his little fear down to hate little modular thing. Or Psycho Man, the actual figure. Cool. Cool there with the art still. Fantastic Four logo. Fantastic Four have Psycho Man looking all psycho, and you have the thing and the thing, and they're there. And then with the bio, highly intelligent Psycho Man uses advanced technology to manipulate emotions and threaten the Fantastic Four. That is a whole lot. That is crazy. Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, Thing, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and now on to Psycho Man. And then High Evolutionary will be our final. Possibly. Unless we do the other Invisible Woman, but we'll see if I got the energy for it, because I'm kind of running on empty right now. And then we got this at Rocket Comics, because this has the $24.99 sticker. 2021. Let's get this guy open off camera. What's but Rob asked, beside $29.9, beside $20.99 when you get time, which one? Is it like that short one? Or is it like the one that's like directly behind him? Because, yeah, because the one that's directly back there, Yeah, the one that looks like the Andrew Garfield one that's by like the samurai one. But if you're talking about that small one, like that's on the ground, that one is is like a superhero squad toy. Kind of not really okay. It is kind of based off of the Tobey Maguire movie suit, because that's when they came out and that's when they were like making these. So I have like all of like my childhood sets of those toys, so I added one to my collection. If that makes sense, Rob. We're gonna open our Psycho Man though. That little one is funny. Well, yeah, he's funny. I like the little guy. But they have like a ton of sets of those. I need to figure out where like a decent portion of mine are. They're probably just in some box somewhere. But they're not bad. So Sonorob says, so that one is the Andrew Garfield one? Sorry, I think it looks cool. Yeah, the Andrew Garfield one, yeah. Yeah, that one is pretty good. Yeah, that's the Marvel Legends one. That was the single release. Look at this Psycho Man. Look at that Psycho Man. Okay. Carefully get everything out. Get his thing. Yeah. So there's our, okay. Hasbro paper. Destroyed to the ether, to the micro universe. There is our packaging. So Psycho Man. But Silent Rob says, I've never heard of Psycho Man before. He looks wild. He is wild. Honestly, his backstory, like that they don't really get into in his bio, I think he is from the micro universe. So he's like a small man who is like piloting like a robot body in our world, and he's using this emotion thing here. It's even like more wild. It's so weird. It's like I have heard of him before, mainly because of shout out to Craig Warwick. I think that's his name. He did a whole like a custom video of this figure, and he like made it and got all the parts and sculpted it all, and it was like perfect, and it looked so cool, and it like glowed and stuff. I need to rewatch that. That was such good content. But nice little art of Psycho Man here. Love it. Really cool. But there's our figure. All his glory. But Soundrob says that's really cool. So Soundrob says so he's operating a robot suit, essentially. Of course, there are more versions where his face is more kind of like flesh color, so it's not like that gold. So he kind of like technically blends in, I guess, more. But here's the fear, doubt, and hate. And then it's like yeah, like different like face kind of things going on. So sometimes it's all weird. But there's our fear, doubt, and hate little device. Has little details all around, little squiggles and then buttons and little wires and bits and tubes. So nice, and then plating on the back there. Pretty good. Pretty nice. And then it's painted pretty well. The fear, doubt, and hate little things there. Then getting the figure out. There's our packaging. Oh, did it start a new stream? Never had that happen before. Did it start a new stream? Or is mine just... No, this is the same. I don't know why it only says 32. That's not good. Is that coming up for y'all? Or does it say like 2 hours and 32 minutes? Because mine just says just 32 minutes. Unless it's going to save this like as a separate thing, but I don't know. But there is our Psycho Man. And he actually looks pretty darn good. I actually do like how they did him here. I would say he does feel a bit short. But I do like I do like the proportions. I like kind of like the feel of this figure. Of course, it's kind of still at the ankles, at least for me, with so many figures now. So many like the ankles, I just can't get them to just stand. Just up. But here we go. That's there. Kind of clicks there. Okay, there. Cool. Okay. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay. And then they did some engineering. And that goes, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like get this thing working. Okay. So there he is. Oh, his glory. So with, of course, has the gold plated face on here, has the black little lines on top with the little like omega symbol. Yeah, which is kind of funny, I guess. Has kind of like a helmet surround thing with a little base there with a little head on top. Goes around there, has some little detail work with the green, and then more details with the lines. Going around here, has like a corset kind of thing going on here. Does have like a belt strap going around there, and then has the white on the shoulders with little fabric detailing, and then has the pinless arms with the with like some like metal kind of like circle detailing, kind of like a line. So that's kind of cool, and that's on the inside. No, that's just muscles there. And then yeah, keeps going down to this crazy design with all like these tube kind of things, and has kind of like a more fabric-y kind of pants and shoes and more of the tubes. But how they engineered this is that this is actually plugged in there, so this is only moves around under that, which is crazy. So great detail and great like a way of doing like their articulation on this, because you have the ball joint, like the neck is just on a ball. So you go about that far, come down that far, tilt, has a full rotation side to side. Of course, can do crazy tilt there, so that's really cool. Then at the shoulders, hinge up about that far, come back down, rotate around, have your bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbow, which is not bad for a bulkier guy. Your fist with your rotation, hinge in and out. Same thing on the open hand, hinge in and out. Around there, and then at the waist, have that, feels like on a ball, or just on a rod, I guess, or like a free floating like hinge joint. So you can crunch forward about that far, crunch back about that far. Now my camera's probably blowing out all those details. It's not a whole lot, but then you can tilt side to side. Also do rotation with some clicks. I wouldn't go more than that, honestly, just to be on the safe side. But then at the legs, kick forward, not that far. Kick back, not that far. Kick out, not too bad. That's honestly not bad at all for this kind of character. And then, as we saw, thigh cut is up here under our tubing. So nice integration of the design, working with the articulation. And then have the double jointed knee, but it's kind of hindered with the tubes going on there. You can't really fault them for that, because that's just the design. And then hinge forward with the foot, with the shoe, hinge back, and have your ankle rocker pivot. They're kind of tight, so a little bit scary here. So we're not going to mess with that one too much. This one we can mess with a bit more. Yeah, but then we're going to get him holding Fear, Doubt, and Hate. Thing. I don't know how he's really supposed to... I think of him as holding it like in one hand, but they're showing it with like two. No, he's got the one. So how do you do it? Of course, they don't really say where it goes. Trying to get him. I don't know how he's supposed to hold this thing. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to still get this figured up. Hold his fear, doubt, and hate thing. This is so stupid. He just won't hold it. It's just like nearly impossible. Okay. Here we go. So he just has them. Just gonna be holding them. Looking pretty cool. I actually do like how this figure looks. I think they did a pretty good job doing him. It kind of gives me a little bit more of like modern vibes. I would like maybe something a little bit more different with the design, at least on the face, for sure. But since they have a good base now to work with, I'm surprised they haven't done another variant of this anymore. Because this does feel like more of like, I don't know, like I guess like a 90s kind of version is what I'm thinking of. Maybe even like it's like do like the old, like the Jack Kirby. I don't know if he looked exactly like this or if he did, but I feel like his face was a little bit more weirder. Because on the art here, it's like, it's not really that Jack Kirby-like. It's more kind of like more generic. But it's still good. It's good art. It's nice art. And they executed it very, very well. Now we do want to look at real quick with our Psycho Man. Get him next to one of our Fantastic Four, because you can see that Psycho Man is not really that tall. He is a bit taller, but not really that large. If anything, I think he kind of has better proportions. Yeah. Yeah, than compared to like the rest of the whole wave. I feel like the size and like the details and how they all like integrate and work together is like perfectly well done. course, still the females are always a bit smaller. But then, you know, we got the thing size. Like, look at that. Ben still towers over this guy. It's insane. But a really, really cool figure. Something I was very excited to add to the collection. Definitely needed it. So, very, very nice. Yeah. All right. So then, think last. Yeah, I think we'll do this one last tonight. We will finish off with High Evolutionary, who we saw most recently in the Guardians 3 movie, which I did not expect at all, but I guess that's the whole point. Get you invested in the stories. But yeah, but High Evolutionary looks pretty good here. Has the whole Fantastic Four retro packaging, all those designs that we've been looking at. Has his own little nameplate here with his own little artwork, and then the figure, and then has all the same on the back, but has the thing. High Evolutionary with a highly advanced intelligence and a cybernetic exoskeleton. The High Evolutionary challenges the Fantastic Four, and that's all in different languages. But Silent Rob said I like the green paint on Psycho Man. Yeah, very, very well done. It looks super clean. But Silent Rob says I don't really remember this character much either. I need to rewatch that Guardians movie. That Guardians movie is like so good. That third one, it's like that made me like cry in the theater. Like surrounded by people. It was insane. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like so sad. But High Evolutionary, like he was the guy, like in the purple. Like he was like the main villain in the movie. And like, I don't know how you can forget about that character. He is like the worst. But Silent Rob says I watched it once, maybe, but I loved it too. That rocket stuff was devastating. It was. It was so devastating. I couldn't believe that they could like show this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, this can still get a PG-13. This is so fucked. All of this is fucked. What? All right. All right. Keep cooking, James. Keep doing your thing, I guess. And he did. And then he took over DC. So now he's doing the Supermans. And that one was like, even still, that one had moments like that in my mind where I was like, you can do that in a PG-13 movie? This is not a rated R. How is this not a rated R? Okay. But Silent Rob says, I love what Gunn has been doing. Guardians is great. Agreed. Superman is fantastic. Agreed. And Peacemaker is really good too if you haven't seen that yet. I still haven't seen Peacemaker. I still need to see it. True. I think it looks pretty funny. Pretty good. I think it's gonna, have some very heavy emotions. As always with James. You'll love it, dude. Wall. Nice. Glad you think so. Okay. Nameplate. Why is this so high up? Probably to show off the actual packaging and do my thing. High Evolutionary. Hasbro paper to the ether. Packaging to the pile. All right. Of course, first we have his little nameplate here. High Evolutionary. This little art there. Does have a little bit of like thing going on. So pretty cool. And Silent Rob says, I think John Cena actually does a pretty good job with acting too. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen him in like a whole lot, but seeing him like as Peacemaker, I think that character was just kind of like made for him. I think he was made to be that kind of superhero, like that anti kind of hero becoming thing, but he's just a bad guy. Yeah, she's killed like just worse guys, essentially. There's our High Evolutionary. There we go. Packaging. Last one of the night. All right, we're almost there. Okay. So yeah, so here is our High Evolutionary figure. His hands are a little stiff. Out of packaging, they don't really want to go at first, but once you get them, you got them. But Silent Rob says, this dude looks like a bad MFer. Bro. This guy's just evil. He's just evil. He's not even like just bad. He's just like the worst. Most evil kind of things you can ever do. It is insane what they do in that movie with this guy. He looks so good though. I do like his little look here. I do prefer I'll do it like that. And better. That's too much. That's all right. Not bad. And silver kind of stick out more, but look at all that detail. Has some awesome detail on the face. It is kind of like metal, kind of shiny with those yellow eyes. Has a little mohawk kind of thing. It has silver kind of plating at the top of his head. Little neck piece wrap around there. I guess that's like the one kind of like part of him that's still kind of human. And I have seen it's like where people actually like take where they get like the little art pens. They do fill out like these little slots and everything, so you can actually see all the detail in there, and it looks pretty good. So I might do that to mine. I was thinking about it, so we might see. And then here you have his costume. Kind of has a kind of like a studs kind of like surrounding him around here, even down to like the belt there with the big ring. There has also like some shoulder pad things going on. Also, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it does kind of make an H for high evolutionary, or the high and then the I. Maybe. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's an E. So what? So he high, I guess. And then you have the studs going down on the loincloth there. But then with the arms and the legs, you have this kind of line metal detailing there, but has nice kind of simple gloves, nice kind of armor-like boots. So a unique all look, design, and sculpt and detailing. So pretty cool. Really, really like it. It looks amazing. Probably could use like a little bit more paint, I guess is like the thing. I just want to see more of the details on the face. And maybe some kind of effect, but if he's just in the comics like just punching and just doing stuff, then I guess I get it. But but then he has an alternate set of fist and open hands. Doesn't have any other effects. Want to see what can I do differently? I guess I can do both fists. I haven't done that yet. It looks pretty good. Okay. That hand is pretty tight and a packaging. Okay. Remove his alternate hands. There he is. What are we at? We're at 58%. We got... Okay, so our brand new phone is like perfect. But look at this. High evolutionary. Looking so good. And here we got our two villains of the wave. Looking pretty amazing. We'll go over his articulation because he's different. He does have a ball at the top of the head, but that goes all the way up, which is insane. Doesn't really come that far down, though. Does have a good tilt and, of course, a full 360 rotation. Nothing, I don't think, at the base of the neck. It's just solid there. But hinge at the elbows. Goes up that far. Back down. Doesn't have a butterfly. Hinges forward. Hinges back is prohibited by the shoulder pad. Have your rotation there. It feels like it's just going on to the rod, so I don't think I'm going to move that too much. We're going to move this one. Have pinless double jointed elbows. Of course, it's going to be this one. That works. Pretty good. Then, of course, as we saw with the hands, they rotate and they all hinge out and in and in and out, in and out, in and out. They're kind of stiff though. Then at the torso, have your diaphragm joint, so get some hula hoop action. You can go forward about that far, come back about that far, side and side, rotation. Then at the legs, kind of kick out a bit because of the loincloth thing. So that doesn't really get you that far, but does come back a fair amount. Comes out pretty far, not bad. Does have, of course, that thigh cut. Your double jointed pinless knees. Of course, it works on the other. Not too shabby. Then at the boots, do have rotation, so that's really nice. And then at the actual shoes, hinge forward, hinge back, ankle rocker. So this guy feels, out of all of them, probably like the most smooth. I just don't know if he can support his own weight. That's always a question. He can do that, so that's pretty good. Okay, we're just gonna have him just stand there. There we go. Sorry, I just had to concentrate there for a bit. All right, but cool new villains. I think they look great. Specifically, more like Fantastic Four villains. We need just more of those in general. We barely have like any. I don't know how many more besides like another Doctor Doom can we get before I'm like, okay. Either like you give me Mole Man now, or you just stop doing Fantastic Four altogether. Because it's just like, I don't. Okay, well, that's not true. You got Fire Lord. Is that his name? I still need to get Johnny Storm, and I know they had a Doctor Doom there. Don't need the Doctor Doom, but then they also have the new She-Hulk, as we've talked about before. Need all those figures because they look great. We're gonna need more Fantastic Four in the collection because I like Fantastic Four. It's pretty cool. It's nice. I liked it before. I like it now. But it's topical. So that's why we're doing this. But yeah, cool villains, look great, love their designs. Really, really good. And so now we're going to get everyone, I think that we can, of the line. Zoom out just a little bit. Chat. In here. Okay, so then we're gonna get our Fantastic Four lined up again. We're just gonna do just the same thing that we did before. Have them where they are kind of to their sides, but we're gonna still keep them kind of together. I think everything is gonna need some adjustments, some heating, some work on, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. Excuse me while I struggle with this. Already an hour over. Damn. Well, I guess it's kind of nice that I can keep going and not have to worry about this too much. But usually, you know, I don't want to keep going for too long because 3 hours is a long time. I just gotta get Reed another. Okay. There we go. Look at him. He looks so good. Maybe we can get Reed a little bit more to the side. And we can all be a little more closer. Get High Evolutionary and Psycho Man. Oh, all in here. Looking quite good. They all look pretty great together. Pretty nice. But yeah, I think we're gonna... Okay, I think we are gonna try to go for our comparisons now. We are gonna zoom out. Oh my God, that's too much. Okay. We're just going to place everything just besides these. Beside these. Because we don't want to do really too much. We want to kind of get going, y'all. You want to be efficient with your time. Here. Going to do with our first versions. Ones that kind of make more sense to actually, you know, that they should have used the same accessories from. So we have the original Mr. Fantastic. You can see how much different that is on there. And then, of course, you can actually... Well, I don't know if you can put on the actual lab coat on this one. Because, to my understanding, I think the holes might be different. Or they might just be kind of loose on this figure. Yeah. Like, if you get them, like, at, like, one position, they might be fine, but kind of, like, around here, it kind of just flops down. But it would probably work. Still not bad. But I do much prefer this long holding hand. I do get this, though. It's like, I think it is a neat effect, but they could do more. But they could have it be a little bit longer. It would have been nice. Oh. Oh. So now I'm just worried about this wire. About pinching. Because this wire is pretty old on this figure. So I'm not really going to touch it more than that. So that's where that is. I think I might prefer the white. I might dare say it. I might prefer the white. There's our black. Sue Storm. See the difference there? Head sculpt is way better. Kind of want to try to switch it, but we won't do it today. We'll do it another time whenever we open up the actual like the full on like Invisible Woman, full on invisible figure. Sue there. Then we'll bring in Human Torch, kind of a very different version from what we see here with our new one. This one has the more red and more Bucky body. Has the same, I think, flame back attachment, but same head, same arms, same hands, and probably, no, different legs and feet. So very neat. Or is it, well, is it a different head sculpt? It kind of looks like it. No, it's the same. It's just a different paint there. It just looks different because it's more proportionate to the body. In there. Then we'll get, of course, our thing here. Looking good next to the team. Pretty sweet. I think I still kind of prefer him over that one, but you know, if I could switch out the parts, make it work. Probably might be something, maybe. I don't know. Just be nice to have different variations, different looks. There we go. Then, also gonna include a Herbie in this crew. Because of course you gotta. Look at him. A perfect little robot dude. Where do we want to put him? I think I want to put him... Oh, well, he'd be kind of blocking more of that. I guess he can go kind of back here, was my thought. He can stick out more. Only a bit more. Well, you can really just see the stand more. Excuse me. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm very gotta stop being super loud. There he is. Just chilling there. Then have our Silver Surfer. Here, I think he'll be better suited kind of over here, to be frank. Missionary moves in. Silver Surfer. Herbie. Makes more sense back there. And then I'm going to do, just for fun, Bombastic Bagman in there. So you got the Fantastic Four suit. I'm just kind of sneak in there. And then do quickly some Avengers. They're not going to stay on the table, but they're here. We got Secret Wars Captain America and 20th anniversary Iron Man. Mainly doing the Secret Wars figures because this is what the Fantastic Four was wearing during Secret Wars. I think specifically, I don't know if it was all 4 of them. Maybe it was. I know at least Thing and Mr. Fantastic were there. I think it would make sense if all 4 of them were there. So, you know, but they look pretty good. Of course, these are more kind of colorful, more updated with the articulation and the designs. But still, even improvements are coming their way as well. The next, sticking with Avengers, we got Marvel Legends Black Widow and the Hawkeye. I think they look pretty great next to these cool figures. And pretty nice. Still kind of upgraded, so, you know, come on, Hasbro. You can do it. You can give us some upgrades. And then going on with Heroes here. Oh, well, sticking with Heroes, but then kind of going just off to Spider-Man for a bit. Because, of course, during Secret Wars, Spider-Man found the black suit, but using the Amazing Fantasy, the Marvel Legends, which is my main favorite Spider-Man figure. And then, of course, the new Secret Wars black suit Spider-Man that's in the same body mold, which goes with the Mr. Fantastic. Look amazing. And then with the villains, moving on, we do have a couple of Doctor Dooms. So we have my main Doctor Doom, who's always on display. With the villains is I think this was the Skrull Build-A-Figure wave. Doctor Doom. Kind of, I guess, a little bit technically more modern-ish. But I love this figure so much. Need to one day actually get a custom cape, because I've been meaning to do that like ever since I've had it, but just haven't done it. Need to, but I think he looks pretty sick. Even just like that. It's like, how can you not freaking like this guy? Who's freaking Doctor Doom? Well, we'll put him in the back, but then do have the Secret Wars Doctor Doom. Because, of course he was also there. Doing whatever. Doing his thing. Having a weird freaking costume. But very classic. I do say. We'll get Doom here. You can see him slightly. Maybe when I'm more over Herbie. No, I want him more visible, so he'll be over here. Well, he might just be right over there by that thing. Or maybe I can put him over here by this one. That is the more modern, but you don't really see him. Unless he moves like all the way back there, but then what's the point? So I think he's gonna go right there. And then we're gonna put our Secret Wars Doctor Doom, who looks pretty good with these guys, but honestly just not my favorite look. He's gonna go back here. Which isn't a bad spot for him. But then, next, for more villains, and with Secret Wars, and also just with the Fantastic Four, have Namor. Of course, maybe he wasn't... He's probably not so interested in Sue this time around, all on account of the face. But then do have the Beyonder making his little battle world. Just thought he would work because of Secret Wars, but Namor's really the one to look at here. And then Beyonder isn't really that much of a specific Fantastic Four villain, really. So, how about we do... Bad guys are all going to be over here in this corner. For now, you're good. Big Bang can come over here. I'm going to make room for more figures, because there's a lot that are coming. Where is Namor? Namor can fit like way over here. Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, we don't need the other Doom, at least for now. But then we have Secret Wars still. We got Titania, just as a more unique character, kind of retro style character, because that's what I think of when I think of this Fantastic Four. But is she more of like a Fantastic Four? I don't know what kind of villain she really belongs to. It feels like more like an Iron Man, maybe kind of thing, or whatever. But then, not really a villain, but someone who I kind of like, it's like, and these I kind of count as like also like their debuts with Fantastic Four, even though Namor was before. But, but with Doctor Doom and with this, and then what we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna do these guys' debuts first. Excuse me. Do more villains with the scrolls, the classic, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive, like Army Builder ones that I got at Rocket Comics. Of course, everything falls over once these guys come in. We've been doing so well. We've been very, very careful. Everything just falls apart. But we're getting there. We're going to get near the end of the live stream. Don't want to keep you all for super long. Unless you're enjoying the chaos, then I guess keep enjoying it as long as you can. Yeah, as long as it lasts. Because I'm getting tired, to be frank. I keep saying it. Yeah, I keep saying that. Like it means anything. Okay, so that's gonna work there. That's gonna work. Okay. Gonna get Reed. We're gonna get high evolutionary looking. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So then we'll put torch here. Fantastic. What we'll do, Invisible Woman. Here. Bagman. Kind of here. I just want to fit one extra figure. I can't even do that. One Bagman in there just to fit. Oh my god. I'll just have a couple figures. Let's fit this camera frame just a little bit better. We got our Invisible Woman, and then now we'll get Reed. Okay. Cool. All right. That. Nice. Okay. Then now, the big comparison, our final comparisons. Well, actually, one more before. We do have the Marvel Legends retro-carded Black Panther, just because that was his debut. And I do like this design. This one is more kind of like classic. I do have the other one in my Avengers display. Do I have it? No. He's doing, okay, yeah, he's doing a pose right now. So he's like on the picture ideas table. So, yeah, he's over there. But this Black Panther, kind of my actual favorite one. I think it looks so good. I think it looks awesome. Looks great with these guys. So yeah, really, really cool. We'll get him back here. And then our last round of comparisons going to be first with the Fantastic Four First Steps, Reed Richards. So you can see just how different of a figure like they are, even with these same kind of, I guess, kind of like details, but how much more. Yeah, they've changed. So now we have two bendy wire arms. Have a really nice Pedro Pascal head sculpt and a lot of but nice, not ice, but sculpting detail all throughout the body. But you know, it is a MCU figure, so you know it has to be more specific and detail oriented. And Soundrop says, is it hard to bend the arms? A little bit. It's a little bit of a struggle, but you can move them pretty well. You just got to be careful. And as someone actually did point out in my comments, and and something I knew like coming into this figure, you do have some gaps right there on the arms because of where they cap off the arm, because that's where the wire starts. So in the factory, so that's like separate pieces, and they put in a wire and then they glue it on there. But it seems like they do it so quickly that they don't even like have time to put it in like correctly, if that makes sense. So it's like it's all like kind of gappy. If I can get the focus right there and right there. So kind of sucks, but honestly, you don't really notice it that much because it kind of goes with the details of the costume. So I'm not really worried about it too much, but it looks great. I don't know if I'm going to fit these guys. Here's his arm. Yeah, I can get him like way back here. That's all right. Can't really see him, but he's there. And then we have the movie Invisible Woman. A lot more details as well. Love the head sculpt on this one. Kind of the same vibes, but this is way better. And it also has a better shield, I think, in my opinion. I do like the little, like the bullet effects that are going on here, and it's kind of wavy, but that one's a little bit more different and more simplified. So this is still cool though. right? Then we'll do, I actually don't like that. We're gonna change this. Okay. Then we have our movie Johnny Storm. Wish I had the actual white suit one to go with this, but I do have, did want to mention this before, I do have just the actual Johnny head. I think this is the one from the black suit version. Like they're like the more like the modern one, but I did want to show how this alternate head looks on the MCU body. Not amazing, but not too bad either. But yeah, there's Johnny. He looks good with the comic full-on flame-on version. Looks good with the white and the blue. Need the comic version now, for sure. Then we got Thing. Looking great as always. Does have like that darker shade to him. Kind of more, I would say more kind of like proportionate. Still has the bigger chest, but the body's still more kind of like, I think, rounded out. It's less square kind of shape. It looks a little bit more kind of like of a bigger, like a human form, but you know, just covered in rocks. While these ones kind of remind me of more kind of like rock mounds. Yeah, they're not like all like perfect together on there, so it's a little bit more crazier there. But then we have the full-on flame-on Johnny Storm from the movie, which is kind of technically a homage to that one. I put on the regular Johnny Storm ones. Yeah, for the arms, because I wanted Johnny actually having the flame-on fist and the effects that came onto that one, because I think that they look way better on this Johnny Storm. So, yeah. So he got his upgrade. And then this one will probably... This one I might give the effects that this one came with, because they are the same effects, but in a darker color, so they might work. Or I'll kind of look around and see what other effects I can work with. But even still, a great Johnny Storm. And then our last figure is, of course, the female Silver Surfer from the movie, who can also technically work as her comic version as well. So it's very cool, very nice, very sweet. There she is with her board there. She can be kind of like, well, in the back of the collection. Well, she's going in the back anyway, so she don't get to interact with anything else now. But you can like barely see her. She's like right there. Man, we did so well for so long. It all falls apart. All right. Sue Reed, this is very inappropriate right now. Two should be enjoying the show together, but not in that way. Okay. There we go. And there we go. All right. So I think we're going to call this stream close. I think we've been going for almost 4 hours. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. A 4-hour stream. That's a lot of time. So, yeah. Hope y'all have enjoyed these kind of longer form, I guess, kind of streams, more in depth. I didn't open the full-on Invisible Woman figure. We might do that at another point whenever I pick up the Johnny Storm, but for now, I'll either do a video of her solo, or like I just said, I'll wait until I get a Johnny Storm for a good price, and then finally do the 2 exclusive figures done and complete the actual main 4 in all their different forms. And then I can kind of mix and match and see what I like and see what works out. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed. Had a lot of fun. Next week, I got no idea. I'm gonna have to think, because I've done so much Fantastic Four and been waiting to do this and been so excited to finally get these figures open. So yeah, it's weird to already be there, but we're here and kind of meant to be. It's crazy. But yeah, hope you all have enjoyed the live stream and all the chaos that comes with it. Great stream, dude. Thank you, Silent Rob. Always sticking around. At the top of the leaderboard, top of the fans, with 225 XP. And then second is KMac User, who is 75 XP. Number 3, Bailey Kids, 75. The Speed Boy, 75. Ratchetzilla Studio, 75. And Rowdy Riles at 25. So thank y'all for supporting, for showing up. So we'll see what goes on next week. Might be more kind of like chill. Maybe like stick to 1 or 2 figures and just call it good. Be like, we're done. No more. No more than that for a bit, because this is a lot. It takes a long time. So, but yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed. Oh yeah, and then next couple weeks are definitely going to be, should be at 8 for sure. So expect, these later ones. Maybe not this late, because this is crazy late, but y'all enjoy. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. It is almost technically tomorrow. We're nearly there, but we're gonna go. But yeah, y'all have a good one. Be sure, check out the Instagram, Justin_the_Zoa. As always, I did post a new reel there. It's just the same short that I posted here. But if you want to go see it, good one. And Silent Rob says, have a good one, bro. Have a good one, Rob. Thank you for joining, and thank y'all for the support. Be sure to like, comment what you want to see on the channel, and subscribe. Y'all have a fantastic night. Have a good one. Goodbye.